We are live.
Yeah.
When the spring, summer, fall, made it to a millionaire from an underdog. People quick to judge you, they don't even know your grind. Revenue from e-com, market them the other lines. Do it all if I put my mind to it. Hit me in the darkness, I'm just trying. I was on the right track, just had to find tune it. Started up my own company, now I'm signed to it. Yeah. Rule number one, you gotta save your cash. Rule number two, invest it all and make it back. Double up your
Welcome out, everybody. Do me a big favor, chime in below. Let me know where you're watching from.
Paycheck to paycheck is for the first real talk. Used to stress getting paid, now I'm self-made. Had to grind every day, now I'm self-made. Long nights used to pray, now I'm self-made. Took risks, unafraid to be self-made. Used to stress getting paid, now I'm self-made. Had to grind every day.
Happy Tuesday.
Mardi Gras, Mardi Gras.
These millions is in my vision now. Make no universal, got me closing deals for 50,000 up when I was with the trap. Shooters always out of style. Mom said, just be successful when you gonna make me proud.
Pack the whip up. Now we headed up the millet. It's the first time before I always had to. Ching team.
I'm shooting up for the stars. Every shot is a green thing. The rollie is rose gold. Built a supreme team. You can make it too as long as you focus on your dreams. Self-made boss, don't move unless I say so. I'm amazing. Call me young Jeff Bezos. Self-made clothes at the top. Got a caseload. Long nights and day go. Thinking what a day go. Used to stress getting paid. Now I'm self-made. Had to grind every day. Now I'm self-made. Long nights used to pray. Now I'm self-made. Took risks, unafraid to be self-made. Used to stress getting paid. Now I'm self-made. Had to grind.
David in the house.
David, what it do? David Pilley. Mark, what up? What up? Joseph O'Brien, what's good, cousin? What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. We have a good friend of mine on the podcast, Mr. Courtney Rollins.
How's it going? What's going on, man? How's it going, Nate? How you doing there?
I'm good. What up, man? What up, David? What it do, dude? Man, I'm hyped. This is a good interview. This is somebody I know. This is somebody I rock with. This is somebody I connected with when I first got started. And obviously, we already have a story to share together that we experienced. But this guy has become a monster to me in this space, and he's very humble about it. And he says, you know, he's still a newbie and things like that, which is dope because I'm kind of the same. I'm the same way. I say the same stuff too. Courtney, man, give everybody a little background, who you are, you know, where you come from, how'd you get into real estate? Give me the back end.
Yeah, appreciate that, Nate, man. Appreciate everything you do, the platform that you provide, man. You bring so much energy, man. It's just like, it's exciting just to be able to be around you. And we say rising tides lift all sails, man. And just, I appreciate being able to be a part of it. But yeah, I'm Courtney Rollins, out in Baltimore City. That's where my farm area is, Baltimore County, Baltimore City. As a career, I'm an educator. So for the past 16, maybe 17 years, I taught second grade, fifth grade, even some higher ed. And my last station, I'm a director of diversity, equity, and inclusion out at an independent school out in Baltimore County. And so about 3 or 4 years ago, I reconnected with a young lady that I knew back in middle school when I was just a little nerd, and she was the captain of the cheerleading team and all. We decided to join together, and I was trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to help provide the type of life that I want to live? And so I started looking down the road of, you know, how do you create financial freedom? Because it just wasn't something that I necessarily knew at the time. And I had a different side of equity as opposed to just the economic equity. And so me and a couple of friends and just trying to figure out what we're going to do, real estate kept coming up. And, you know, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and all the other books that a lot of folks shared that kind of puts them on that trajectory. And so last year I learned just enough just to get me in trouble, and we were able to pick up 2 rental properties that. And then I realized, oh man, I really need the economic. I need to replace my income. I need to be able to focus on at least one thing to be able to grow. So wholesaling, I decided at the end of January, maybe the last week of January this year, so I'm focusing directly on wholesaling, that one thing, like Gary Keller says, and it's been a grind, but it took me about 4 or 5 months to actually get a deal to go through. That was in June, and that's why I feel like a newbie. Then we had another deal finally cross the finish line, and we have now 4 in escrow. So we're trying to crank it up, treat it like a business and not just a hobby. But yeah, that's where I am right now, man.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about the being in the game for a couple of months. What is one experience that you had where you was like, yo, this is for me? Like, this real estate game is for me. Wholesaling is for me. Give me one experience that kind of, confirmed, like, yo, this is for me.
Oh, that's a good question, man. I don't know if I can. I think just the community, like the folks. I'm a podcast junkie when it comes to wholesaling, and just hearing everyone's story of like, of just persistence, and like persistence defeats failure, and like just that's the type of personality I have, and that's something that just I have an affinity towards. Like when it comes to like you putting your heart out there and you not giving up and you trying and you going for it and having faith that it's going to work out, that speaks to me. And so I don't know if it's actually one experience, but just hearing everyone's story having the same thread of don't give up. Those folks who do the work, who put in action will benefit. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm willing to put in the work. So I think it's just being around a lot of people who have that same type of mentality. That's like, yeah, I done found my calling, Yeah.
Perfect. Give me an experience, man, with a seller that was like something that you will always remember.
Yeah. Well, Mrs. I'm gonna say her name Mildred. I'm not gonna say her last name, but this is sweetest old lady. She about 92 years young, man, and she's like almost become a mom. They say you have to build connections, and this is actually a deal I still haven't landed, but I'm trying to go in, trying to serve, and trying to figure out how I can solve problems. Of course, I want to be able to add value so I can add to my bottom line. But Miss Mildred, oh my God, the first time I talked to her, she asked me to come out to the house. Next thing you know, I'm driving her to her assisted living facility. Next thing you know, I'm driving her to the store. And next thing you know, we just like I call her every 2 or 3 weeks and just talk on the phone for it could take about 30 minutes to an hour. We're not even talking about real estate. So just being able to have a genuine connection, and it may turn into a deal, it may not, but those are yeah, it's pretty funny, pretty interesting relationships that you get to know these folks. You get to really become almost friends with folks that you follow up with consistently, because as I say, the money really, or the value is really added in the follow up. It's not always like they're gonna lay down and just get it on the first time. Now, you might, but it doesn't always happen that way. So yeah, Miss Mildred, I enjoy those calls.
Perfect. Why do you feel like you haven't landed the deal yet?
Well, I feel like I will, but that's a great question. I think probably I'm always growing, so my sales and my marketing and locking it down. I have asked her what do we need to do to get the deal done, but I think I could be a little tighter in that, So I guess maybe my personality, maybe it just hasn't just come yet, but she's definitely in the pipeline, so I'm gonna keep it rolling. But maybe I need to be a little more reflective and realize, hey, I need to ask Mildred what's up. What's up, Mildred? Let's go. Let's make it happen.
I got a deal like that right now with a lady in South Carolina, and
yeah,
obviously our number is not what the number she wants, but she always calls us. And it was funny because my boots on the ground went over there, and she was like, "Do you have a picture of Nathaniel? Oh, so handsome on the phone." And then, she showed the picture, my boots on the ground showed the picture to her, and then she was like, "He would be perfect for my daughter."
There it is.
I need to hook him up with my daughter. It was hilarious because the whole dialogue of our talk now went from hey, let's put this out in the contract to hey, would you want to come visit and see who my daughter is? And so it's funny though, because again, she has like that motherly spirit and feel, and you just you want to have conversation with her because you can learn from her and have so much wisdom. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get the deal done yet. But I think in due time
you got it. You'll get it, man. Oh, women love me, man. Even when I was a little kid, the women my age wouldn't love me, but he's gonna be so nice for my baby, and also, man, you gotta take advantage of what you got, what God give you.
That's hilarious. All right, man. So talk to us, man. I know you done had your experience with different sellers. I know obviously you had deals that didn't go through, like me, I done had contracts that we didn't have to cancel.
Absolutely.
What happened when you had to cancel, a contract, and what did that do to you mentally? Your first canceled contract that didn't go through.
Man, well, yeah, it was tough, man. You just felt like at least that I I'm trying to be a man of my word, and if I say I can lock something up and find an investor or a buyer, I'm hoping that I can, I want to be able to do that. So I just felt like sick to my stomach, man. But I went ahead and made that call and just was open and honest to the seller. And to be honest, he was actually quite understanding. I mean, not that all sellers are going to be, and I've had contracts where I had to go out of, and the sellers weren't understanding. But those difficult conversations, man, even though I don't want to have them, there's two things. One, those difficult conversations or anything that I do that's uncomfortable that is usually going to allow me to grow. I always say, okay, if I'm uncomfortable, then probably something I need to go ahead and do, because worrying about it is probably more challenging than actually doing it. And then two, I'm learning that it's like my job to get the properties at the right price, so I don't have to come back on the seller like that, because I'm not serving them well if I get it with a tiny margin. I need to get these things at such a good price that it makes sense for everybody who's coming in. The deal is just flying off the shelf. That way, smooth transaction happens, and I don't have to go back to the seller. So me, it's almost, I've heard this before. I didn't say this, but I heard this from, I don't know, maybe John Martinez YouTube or something, but you're almost like a doctor, and the doctor don't tell you what you want to hear all the time. The doctor gonna tell you what you need to hear. Shoot, you might even say that to me, man. But it's like that's the truth. And I'm gonna have good bedside service and all, but at the same time, I can't tell a seller that this margin is or get it because I really want to do well for them or lock it up at a price that they think makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna start doing, man. But yeah, it was tough, but it was more the worrying about it was tough. But I just kept going, man. Just gotta keep going. It's probably gonna happen again, and just gonna have to keep rocking and rolling, man.
Dope. So you've landed a big deal. You got $27,000 in assignment fee that's getting ready to happen. Walk me through that deal. How did it happen?
Oh, bro. Well, these things go into closing is like a baby, so I'm not jinxing anything as it gets to the settlement date. But this is just another buyer that was in the pipeline. I drive for dollars. That's mostly my marketing, man. I'm balling on a budget. So my fiance and I will get out on the weekend and we'll drive for dollars. And this was a property that was in a great oasis area. Baltimore is like block by block, almost side of the street to side of the street as far as how the market could change. And built great rapport with the seller back in early February. At the time, I was actually pretty tentative because he went with someone else, and I asked him, "Hey, man, I thought we had great connection. What's up?" And he was like, "Oh, I didn't think that you really had the funds." And I guess it was the way I was presenting myself or presenting the offer, that it wasn't with certainty and competency, and and so I just chalked it up, remembered, and just put him in my little follow-up system. And then followed up with him and said, "Hey, did that contract go through?" And he was like, "Actually, it didn't, or actually, it hasn't yet. It's supposed to, but I have one more week in it. Please check back in." So, of course, I checked back in, and he was ready to rock and roll. I said, "I can be there for you, and I'll lock it up." So I locked it up at a pretty good discount at that time, and I just went in and was like, "Yo, this is the price I can give you, man. What's up?" And he was able to connect. It was then maybe 2 days later, had a buyer who was ready for it, and it made complete sense for him. He's still getting it at a price that's, I still probably could have got a little bit higher. I tell you one thing, he's a friend that I met through the actual business, this actual buyer. And I tell you, friendship built on business is far easier than business built on friendship. But it was still funny because he asked me what's the margin? What did I get it for? Oh man, I let him know. He wasn't necessarily happy for me for about a day. I had to really just have a conversation with like, hey, is this still gonna work for you, man? Because I mean, there's other people out there, and I understand, but he knows I'm working hard. He knows I feel like I'm worth every bit of it, and it's still a great deal for him. But I won't make that same mistake, and when I have a deep assignment fee, I'll make sure I either double close or they'll find out at the day of closing.
Yeah, I mean, I got a deal like that going on right now, man.
Oh yeah,
great friend, it's a great brother. And I talked to my mentor about it, and he was like, he's like, Nathaniel, you're about to take, you should make a good fee because you're working hard. Now I spent like $2,000, $3,000 on cash buyers, like just trying to find a cash buyer for this deal.
Right.
I was like, man, but I don't want the, and it's right now kind of like the deal's kind of turning left,
Okay.
And it's not what I expected. I had to talk to my mentor because I was like, frustrated about it. And obviously Max being Max, and he's like, dude,
yeah, Max is awesome.
What you do is you partner up. You tell your seller like, hey, we're both not gonna, make what we want to make at the end of the day. But you've put in a lot of work and you deserve, every penny. And he was like, tell the seller, let's partner up. Let's get this deal done. Let's find 4 to 5 more deals later, and we recoup on the back end. And he was like, sometimes it's more about the relationship versus the short-term sale. And I was like, dang, you never thought about that. And it's like, you can make, 40, 50K on a one-time assignment fee. But if you can make, 30, 40K and then make 20, 30, 20, 30 later, it makes more sense that way. And so when Max, when Max brought that down to me, man, I was like, dang, bro, that makes, so much sense. Because, sometimes you chase that fast assignment fee and you never know what you can build at the end of it. Hey guys, if you're getting some value from what Courtney is dropping in here, show some love. Give us some hearts and some thumbs up. Make some noise on this live. Courtney, $27,000 assignment fee, dude.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I done had some big days online, man.
You're the big man.
I didn't have some 30.
You kind of a big deal. You kind of a big deal.
But 27,000, that's a nice day. That's a nice day. That's like a day where you go eat crab legs afterwards with some sausage and some shrimp. Or get some ice cream.
Every time this brother calls me, man, me and my girl and my daughter going to get some ice cream, man.
It is. I promise you, I cannot miss a time I miss it. Every time I call you, like, I'm actually on the way to go take my girls to get some ice cream. I'll be like,
oh man, we'll spend so much. We probably spent the assignment fee already. I gotta get an ice cream for real, man.
I'm not gonna lie. That last time I talked to you,
are you freezing up?
My fault. I said I would that day I talked to you last time I talked to you, you was on your way to get ice cream. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went and got some fudge brownie ice cream.
Yeah, bro.
Like you talked me into it.
Hey man. Hey, I want to say real quick though, man. Real quick, shout out to you said Max Fishman. That dude is awesome, man. He is so giving of his time and his energy. He's a big deal too. I just want to say appreciate all the knowledge that he drops all the time, man.
Yeah. Big shouts out to Max. I got a couple of people on here I want to shout out real quick. My personal assistant, who is phenomenal, Miss Joanna Sims, is on here. My brother Daniel Rios, my brother Van Taylor, what it do? And Eric Wade, what's going on? Eric Wade actually hit me up. I got something for you, so make sure you write me. $27,000 day, bro. When that deposit hits, right? Is that your biggest? Well, of course you've only been online this year, so it would be your biggest day. But what are you going to do when the $27,000 hit?
Man, we got Charles Triple. Same thing I'm doing every day, man. It's like this too shall pass, bro. The same thing that took me. I got to keep grinding. Got to keep doing
celebrate.
We're gonna get some ice cream, bro. We're gonna get some ice cream. We definitely gonna get some ice cream, but we're gonna just reinvest it. We're gonna pay ourselves first, of course, pay off some things that we need to pay off, but put it back into what we can back into the company and just keep grinding out. I'm using shout out to TTP, Brent Daniels, and all this stuff too, because we talk to people, we cold call, and so that may be one of the first things we do because we're like solo or duopreneurs with my fiance and me. So We'll probably invest in some cold callers, and then maybe next a transaction coordinator. But they definitely want to be able to free myself from some of the inside the business so I can work on the business, man.
Yeah. That's amazing. But what are you going to do to celebrate is the question.
I told you, I'm a humble. Hey, I want to just keep it making me hungry for more. I want more. I'm gonna celebrate by trying to go get bigger and larger discounts for investors and helping sellers out. And I mean, really, that's get some ice cream, man, and just keep grinding, bro. I wish it was something more exciting than that, but that's exciting to me for real. For real, man.
Okay. So no treat, no like I'm gonna go buy a sweater. I'm gonna go, anything like that. I'm gonna go get a rental, maybe anything. I'm talking about rental home. No portfolio.
I ain't even materialistic, man. I don't know. I shop like once every 2 or 3 years. My girl, she a shopaholic, but I don't. Hey, I'm a simple man. I got simple pleasures. I'm a simple man. You can ask all the bros. I'm Omega Psi Phi. Shout out to the bros, man. So
shout out to the bros.
Rudy Rude. They used to call me the most bummiest pretty boy they know for the bros and all. So yeah, man. Just
keep dope. On
grind. I work. The pleasure is the work for real. I ain't even trying to be cheesy. I love it.
So my goal, I will say, for me, my Christmas present to myself, because that's like the next holiday coming up. Yeah. December, I want to purchase 5 rentals.
My
Christmas present. So
that's what's up, bro.
I had the pleasure of meeting a guy by the name of Mr. Batista, who is a out-of-state investor. He lives in Peru, and this guy's business model is insanely amazing to me. What he does is he has VAs that are in all of these Facebook groups, like every state Facebook group. And every time a person posts a deal, he hits them up, right? And his VAs hit them up. And like, I think they're like broken off into like, everyone has like, 10 states that they're in each group. And so they comment and, they comment and they say, hey, I'm interested in this property. And so obviously you send them the property, right, through email. Right. And then, he gets on the phone and he tells you like, hey, I'm not a cash buyer, right? But what I am is a buyer. And I want to structure this deal. And so he structures every deal as seller finance. And
sweet.
Right. And so when he gets in, he typically buys properties, that has maybe a budget where it needs about $5,000 to $15,000 in repairs. And so instead of paying like a $200,000 house up front, he gets it under seller finance, do the $15,000. And then once the house is done, he refinance and then he gives them the balloon payment. But that's like his whole business model is they just find homes for seller finance every day. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, I allocated maybe about 50 to 75 grand. And that's how I started. I got a loan for 50 grand, 75 grand. And I pretty much started finding properties that only needed like 5,000, 10,000 in repairs. And then I'll relist it. And then I'll make my money, and then I'll pay the seller off, and then I'll walk and I'll go right there and I grew my capital. And so he was sharing a story with me, man. He said he got to about $500,000 in profit in 4 months.
Dang, bro.
Yeah. So
seller finance is so great. I have a couple of deals in the pipeline. There's a couple of subject twos right now, and one seller finance. Oh, I was so heated, brother. I had one that was going to be so sweet, but some people, if they're not familiar with it, then it just with anything, it was strange to him. So I had a seller who was ready to go with it. He talked to an attorney who wasn't a real estate attorney, who gave him bad, in my opinion, legal advice and pulled it out. But those seller finance deals are sweet. But to your point, though, the part of our business strategy, we have our numbers, we have our goals, we have our KPIs, and for the business. But we're trying to replace our income with the wholesale operation. That's what we're going to do. But to build wealth, we're investing in our rental portfolio. We're investing in assisted living and memory care. So we have a small investment in one right now, and that's what we're trying to, without chasing too many shiny objects and squirrels. We're trying to learn the assisted living and memory care real estate side of it, so that this money that we get, we can allocate towards there and build that wealth while we continue to build this business right here.
Yeah. I mean, for me, man, I absolutely love the wholesale business model.
Me too.
I love it.
Me too.
I love it with a passion. I think for me, though, like I'm in my office right now, right? And then I got reps on the floor I got, you know, an amazing photographer to the right of me who's like my little brother. But I want to open up a whole nother office in here, right? I want to knock these walls down, and I want to create a whole, you know, department for seller finance, because
heck yeah, bro.
having like a transactional manager, and then just literally, you know, you can come in because some of these sellers, they just need money. And so, you know, their property could be worth 75, 80 grand, and they'll take 35 because you can close quick, you know, and because you can close in 7 to 10 days, you know, depending on how fast the search title process takes. But coming in, paying that 35 grand, then just coming in, getting a realtor and relisting it at 80, right, is an amazing feeling. And that's kind of what me and Mr. Batista was talking about. And he was showing like, that's his whole business model. I was like, man, that's dope.
So he's getting them discounted too, because I know a lot of seller financing deals allows you to pay a little more in the long end because you're amortizing it. So he's still able to get them discounted. That's still.
Yeah, so he does two ways. So he does seller finance if it's like a house that really needs rehab. But if it's like a house that can sell as is on the market for a good number, then he'll come in and pay that wholesale price and then just relist it the next day.
Like hoteling. I got you. Hotel.
Exactly, just hoteling it.
Yeah, I got you. Heck yeah.
I think that's the biggest part. Man, yo, if you guys are getting some value, again, my brother Courtney is killing this game as far as value goes, and I'm loving like his experience, right? So show some love, give some hearts, give some thumbs up. If you have any kind of question for Courtney, please chime in your question. So man, real estate is phenomenal. We've had great conversation when we first met. We had some dope experiences on the phone. It was kind of like it was just a, you know, a win, you know.
Yeah, it was smooth and easy, man. Yeah. You know, you run across a lot of people in here, but man, just I knew instantly once we chatted, like, this is a good dude, man. And you just take massive. It's about Grant Cardone on steroids or something, bro. You be just doing it, man. So it's good to see good things happen with good people, man. For real.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think for me, man, I just came into the game, you know, excited. For those that don't know, like I don't had a lot of success online. I done a lot of different things, but I was just praying for something, man, that fit me, you know. And everybody in their mama since like 2010 used to tell me, yo, you will be phenomenal at real estate. You will be dope at real estate. And I used to be like, hell no.
Why are you against?
I am not going to school and I am not taking no tests. Like that's what was my mindset. Again, I didn't graduate high school, right? So school is not for me. I'm very, very intelligent, but just when it comes down to, you know, the practical part of it, I'm just not good at that. And so when this whole selling, you know, thing came to me, man, it just clicked like a light bulb. And I think in our first, you know, my first month of working, you know what I'm saying, over 4 deals. So
Hitman Homes. Yeah.
So I mean that's the dope part, bro. Sniper, definitely. Like find the targets. We literally got a deal going right now. We just got an offer. I just got a message while I'm on Facebook. We have a property that we have under contract at 18 grand. We have an offer at 30K right now. So that's a $12,000.
Oh, that's sweet, bro.
Yeah.
That's
the cool part. So tell me, man, if anybody has any questions, please chime in. Let me know. Tell me this. What's next, dude? I mean, you get to a point. Are you hiring VAs? What kind of VAs what you gonna hire? You gonna hire text managers, callers? What you kind of feeling? What's the expansion gonna look like?
Well, by August, we want to have an operation that's doing 2 to 3, simply and easily, predictably, with the $12,000 spread. And then by January, we want to have 3 to 5. January 2021, at a $16,000 average assignment fee. And then we're going to take it from there and try to build up until we're at 10. And so the type of staff that we need to have around there, it really is going to depend. I'm going to get into I have a couple of coaching spaces that I want to go into so I can surround myself with mentors who, you know, been there and done that before to really figure out how to scale. But like I said earlier, I think cold calls will be the next thing, and then transaction coordinator. Right now, I'm linking up. I got to shout out Ultra Investments too, Sam and Zev and all those folks over there in Baltimore. These guys are all over Maryland, but they're out of Baltimore. They are helping close the disposition side of some of the deals that we're part of. So I can focus on what they call MMA, mindset, marketing, and acquisitions. But I want to be able to grow into it where I'm, our company is Aqua Team Properties is doing the acquisitions and also first step, baby steps, 2 to 3 properties, particularly easily, then 3 to 5. But as far as the staff goes, I think cold callers will be next. But I'm going to try to copy and paste some other dope coaches out there doing it and all. Yeah, everybody has a different way of doing it. And I'm watching you, and that's why I'm, writing notes and taking down how you set up the VAs and the value that you bring every, Sunday and through little group messengers and big family chats that you have with everybody. It's great to be able to just write down and jot down. Okay, this is what the next step may look like for Aqua Team.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, man, I just came in so aggressive, and I really have no fear, man. And the reason why I tell people is because I absolutely come from nothing, and my mom used to always tell me, if you could survive broke, you'll never be afraid to be broke again. And so it meaning that, not meaning that you should go broke again. It just meaning that you survived at your lowest moment, right? Take a chance.
Right.
It's not like you don't know how to survive there, And so because of that, that's always stuck with me. I go all in, like, let's make it happen. Let's change our life. Let's do these things.
Yeah.
So that's where my energy comes from. And, even Max always tells me, like, yo, I've never seen no one just go so aggressive in life. And it's just, man, I feel like you have to. That's why I think that's where I'm at is because I have no fear and I just go for it, My question for you, Courtney, David has a question. Do you have a strategy for approaching homeowners when driving for dollars?
Well, the one strategy that's different from just, calling them up and asking them for their properties is really the one difference is I'll leave a voice message for them. If I'm pulling a list from PropStream, then I usually don't leave a voicemail message. And I know there's different ringless voicemail drops you can do and all, but if I'm just focusing on cold calling, I'm trying to get through. But I will stop and leave a message for them and specifically say their name and their property. But really, I just approach it like any other cold call when I'm as far as when I get them on the phone. I do try to have a wide margin. I don't just look for beat down houses. I look for any sign of distress. I mean, a broke down car, stuffed mail, peeling on the side. Sometimes I'll just hit some properties that are really lovely and try to, have my top 100 where it would be a beautiful knockout if I was able to get it, because you never know what people are going through and how you might be able to step in. So, yeah.
That's dope. Me personally, I've never drove for dollars yet. I have virtually, but I haven't physically, and that's again because I'm in California. So, and that's like one of the most non-recommended places to do, business.
Oh, I dig it. Well, for me, it's a good way to learn the market and learn like those little streets and be able to see and know, okay, this is the property, and I know it's going to sell for this. And Baltimore again is so block by block. You turn the corner, you like in a completely different city.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If I lived somewhere else, I would be driving for dollars. But the fact that I live here is like I have to be, everything is virtual. So I wish I could though, man. Shouts out to Courtney too, because Courtney has went and seen 2 properties for me. The first one was an experience.
Heck yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lay down. Woo!
I thought it was
Family
a lay
drama.
down.
That thing was pretty. I was like, oh, he about to get a good spread on this, man. You become a psychologist. Nate became a family a psychologist on that one, man. Hope they paid you for that.
Let me kind of break down what happened with the story with me and Courtney. So we're both in TTP, which is Talk to People. Shouts out to Brent Daniels. We're both in TTP, and so I get a contract in Baltimore, and I'm talking to the woman, and the woman's like, "Hey, can y'all? I don't know how to use DocuSign. I don't have an email. Can you just have somebody bring the contract to me?" So I find Courtney. I call Courtney. Me and Courtney talk the first day. I'm like, "Yo, I got a deal. Whoop de whoop whoop. Can you go over there and take the contract?" So this is like when I'm first started. So I didn't even look up everything. So Courtney writes me back tonight. He's like, "Hey man, I think there's 2 owners on the property." And I was like, "Really?" She didn't say that. You're like, "Okay, well, we'll find it out in the morning." Right. So I'm asleep. He's on the East Coast. He's over there. He texts me. He's like, "Yo, this house is in a great area. This house is amazing. Like, this is about to be a boom, a full fam, right?" So he gets there, he talks to the mother, and he talks to the mom, the owner, right? But then the daughter is on the property too.
Yeah.
You want to tell about that experience?
Yeah. So I go downstairs and I'm taking pictures. We already built rapport and all stuff. I'm like, oh, this is easy. I like this part. Man, the granddaughter is living with the grandma, and when we are downstairs, the granddaughter looks at me like, she looked at me like, you ain't the first one been through this. I was like, excuse me, man. She's like, oh man, my grandma and my mom are beefing, and I don't think my mom is gonna let my grandma let go of the house, and my mom's on the deed. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I thought I saw it. Okay, can I get her information, get a number? Maybe we can talk, and we just want to be able to, help out, whatever. She's like, all right. She gave the number and all, and so I went back upstairs and I mentioned it to the grandma. Woo! Then she just went off for a little bit of how she doesn't do anything for me, and you can't tell me what to do with my property, and I don't know why they trying to control me. And I was, oh my goodness! So I just threw it back to Nate, like, hey, here's a number. Actually, I still call her. I call them once. They don't pick up every time, but I call Miss. I ain't gonna say her name. I'm not gonna say her name, but I call her once every 2 weeks, and maybe one day they'll open up.
Yeah, I think I got on the phone. So I got on the phone with the daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
I got on the phone with the daughter, and then the daughter was like, do you, boo-boo? I was like, man, that's crazy. And so the daughter was
Chris
like,
Rock, man. That was crazy.
She was like, my mom is not selling the house. I will not sign. Whoop de whoop whoop. And then the mom was like, she's waiting for me to die, and so she could just have all the money to herself. But I want to leave. I was like, yo, this is a lot. This was intense. But that experience, it taught me a lot, man. I done dealt with some amazing experiences. I can honestly say that I done dealt with a lot, right? And I mean, obviously, I haven't went through every experience yet, but I've went through a lot, and I'm like, yo, people will be out here tripping.
Definitely learn a lot about people, man.
I done learned a lot about people. Like I done had the complete laydown deals, and then I done had the deals where it's like an everyday call. I didn't have that seller that was looking for that EMD every single day.
Right. I have it right now. I have it right now. Ooh.
I'm talking calling the title company.
Me too, bro. Right now.
I'm like, yo, chill. We just signed yesterday.
Right. Exactly. Shout out to Mr. I ain't gonna say his name. You know what surprised me though, is that you can't assume for these calls. I've had these callers where I've picked up the phone and I just knew from jump, though, this is resistance. But just being certain and competent and likable, like it completely turned around and flipped and changed. It surprised. Remind me back in the day when you hollering at somebody you might like, it. You never even assumed that person would respond that way. But shoot, closed mouths don't get fed, man. So I would never assume just based on the attitude of the seller which way and what way it's going to go. You definitely read and respond and mirroring and all that stuff. But man, I've been so surprised by those ones where I just knew it wasn't going to work out, or they weren't going to, take this low ball that I offered. But the conversation continued and all. Yeah.
Man, I didn't have offers where I would just be like, I'm gonna tell you an offer. So this last deal I had that just closed. I'm on the phone with the seller. I'm calling about a whole different type of property. I'm hype. Got the numbers. I'm in a car. I know where my MAO is. And man, he hits me like, yo, I'm not selling this property.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, I'll sell this one though. Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't see prop stream. I couldn't see nothing. So I'm in the car driving. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just rocking with it. And he's like, yeah, right. Another guy offered me 150, what do you say, 145. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, look, I could do 150 if you sign today. Mind you, I didn't know the numbers. I didn't know nothing. Right. But I obviously knew a wholesaler had him contracted at 145. Yeah. So my goal was, if he has him at 145, the wholesaler is probably going to try to make 155. Right. So in this case, he's not selling the house that I want, but he's sending another one. So let me just lock it up and make $5,000.
Right.
He ends up saying, okay, I'll sign with you. So he flips a coin literally while we're on the phone and says, I'm going to go with you.
Wow.
So I send him the contract. I'm like, oh, shoot. I need to figure out these numbers, right? So I get home and we run the numbers. Everybody's telling me like, yo, the numbers are tight. Nobody's gonna pay for this. Whoop de whoop whoop. So we spend about $250 on cash buyers to get a list of like 300 people. I mean, 3,000 people. So we start sending out texts to, cash buyers.
Yeah.
Everybody, some of the friends, they're like, oh, this deal ain't gonna work. No one's gonna buy this deal. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Man, that deal just closed yesterday. We had a buyer at 161.
Good, get it, brother. Get it. Look
at
you.
So the whole thing was, you have to go with your gut, right? And just like in anything that I do, you have to believe in yourself before anybody else believe in it. If you feel something can happen, go for it, right? The most craziest things are what creates income.
Right. If anything, you learn from it. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Man.
And that was one of the biggest things for me, man. Like from there, I was like, can't nobody tell me nothing no more. I talked to Brent Daniels on the phone. Brent was like, man, I've had times when my acquisition manager said this wasn't going to sell. We put it out and I make 28 grand on it.
That's what's
same
up,
thing with Max. Max said that's happened to him many times. You just never know until you put something out there. So if you're locking up deals and you're locking up contracts, just test the market. The market gonna talk back.
Right. My homie Brandon. Shout out to Brandon, man, out in Baltimore. He says, control and roll. Control it and roll with it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Dope. Hey guys, one more time. If you're getting some love and you're liking this podcast and Courtney is giving value, I'm gonna ask her one more question and we're gonna get out of here. Show some love, give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up if you're rocking with the value he's delivering. Rodney's last question is: found a house in great condition for rent. How would you approach the seller?
The classic approach that I just did this yesterday is I would just call the seller. Hey, how you doing? I see the property at X. I am not interested in renting, but would love to know if you would consider selling your property. Then, of course, you go through the whole trying to find his motivation or her motivation or their motivation and figuring out how you can serve that and solve that problem and all. That's how I would simply approach it. Just trace that bad boy, find the number. Or the number's probably there if it's for rent. They got the number for you. See?
Yeah. Okay, perfect. What would you say to the average person, man, that's on here, that's probably nervous to get started with real estate, don't know if they know enough? What would you tell them to do?
Oh, man, the whole take action. Just take action. Just do it. Just if you want results, then you have to take action. Like Brent Daniels says, this will work if you do. So overthinking and trying to figure out, like, getting all your stuff down, LLCs and business cards and logo and website. You need to just talk to some sellers who are interested and ask them if they're interested in interested in selling the house, and then connect them with buyers. It's just simple as that. That's as simple as that. The wholesaling game is straight up sales and marketing, So so that's what I say. Just take action. And if you want to make a change in your life, like, shoot, if you're gonna struggle or work hard, I'd rather struggle and work hard and get something out of it than struggle and still be in the same place. Because honestly, if you're thinking about this, you're thinking about making some growth to change in your life. You're not satisfied with where you are at this time. So time is not going to stop for anybody, man. So just do it. Just do it.
Property has
definitely. What about to the person that's probably been at this for a little bit, haven't got a deal? What do you guys say to them?
Right. Persistence defeats failure.
Come on now.
Absolutely. Persistence defeats failure. I mean, you definitely look back and tweak, see what you're doing, figure out what it is. And maybe you're not being consistent in one aspect of the marketing. But if you consistently talk to sellers or distressed sellers and have, I'm going to sound like Brent, quality conversations. That's what it is. You're going to end up landing the deal. It's so much inventory. Everything is real estate. There's so much inventory out there. The deal will come. Just keep going at it, keep working, get around people. Surround yourself with positive, like-minded, high-achieving folks, and it's going to happen. Absolutely will. It's not easy, but it is simple. It's so simple.
I would just say this, man. Here's my biggest suggestion.
Yeah.
1, don't be lazy, and then 2, just talk to people.
It's consistent.
Right? It's like it's not a hard sell. It's not nothing where you're trying to like sell somebody a cell phone with 10 accessories, right? It's literally you are helping somebody make money.
Right.
So it's
all ends.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the
on
buyer,
all
the
ends.
seller, the seller, the buyer, all of it.
Company, the buyer, and so it's like
the title.
all it takes is a real conversation at the end of the day. Yeah, you got to negotiate. Yeah, you have to sell, but you just have to get out there, man. And I think sometimes we overthink, we're over analytical, and over analytical leads to procrastination. And once you get procrastination, you end up broke. right? And so you'll never get any type of deals in the pipeline or done if you're not working. I remember I used to call this guy Courtney every morning around like 8 o'clock before I go on live. And this guy's dialing for dollars before he teaches his class. And he was always hustling. So when I see that you got 4 deals, is it 4 deals in escrow right now?
Yep.
Right. And I see like, oh, we done closed over 4 deals. You know what I'm saying? We got 7 contracts right now. We got a bidding war happening right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but that came from persistence. Exactly. That came for us hustling, us believing, right? Even when it didn't look right. You know what I'm saying? Even when it didn't seem like it was gonna work out. I remember my first couple calls. I was like, bro, all these cats want retail. How the hell are you finding a seller? But
the numbers game. Right.
It's a numbers game.
Fill up that pipeline. Because if I left my feet off the gas right now, in 2-3 weeks, I'm gonna see that pipeline drying up. So that's where I feel like I'm at now. It's a beautiful space where like I got contracts after contracts and stuff that could be closing it. And it's just gonna be that cycle. You're always gonna have stuff in the pipeline if you keep feeding it and finding those key behaviors that make, income driven behaviors that make that happen at the end, man. So this has been a blast. This is a beautiful thing, man. Just being able to find a niche that you feel like you fit in. My ADHD finally fits somewhere, bro. Like I'm just charged, ready to go.
That's how I feel, man. I was looking at my pipeline yesterday, and I was like, man, I remember logging into Podio and only seeing like 3 leads, and you couldn't do a callback, right? Now logging into Podio, I got 325 leads.
Get it, brother. Get it.
Like I was just literally telling my floor, you should always be on the phone. We have 325 leads. There is no reason for us not to be on the phone. Because now you have that pipeline. Now here's where the sales are going to come in. And Maxwell always says it. 70% of his sales comes from follow-ups.
Follow-up.
Right? So
too.
Yeah, so it's like you got to create that system inside of your business that makes sense. For me, man, this whole thing has changed my life. I love who I have become because of it. I love the people I've connected with. You know what I'm saying? I love the growth.
Me too, man.
And I just, the opportunity, man, is endless out here, dude. And you just never know. You never know what deal is going to happen. Like I done connected with so many different buyers on so many different levels to a point where they're bringing me deals, asking me to JV the deal, and then I literally pass the deal off to another buyer that I'd have met, and now I'm making percentages. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all comes down from networking and communication at the end of the day.
Man, I love it so much. Had like 5 years of experience in like 3 months, bro. You killed it, man. For real. It's like some interstellar stuff, man. For real, man. It's awesome.
I love it, man. I thank you for coming out and doing this interview, bro.
Appreciate you.
I'm super proud of you. I'm super happy for you, man. I remember that first call, and I remember you was like, I'm just looking for people I can exchange synergy with and connect with and rock with. And now I'm like, yo, you the man right now.
Hey, well, it ain't just me, man. It's our team, man. My fiance and my daughter and shoot, all my boys and back, just everybody just supporting and feeling like it's definitely a team effort. Teams, all those folks who don't know me, who don't even know that that they're my mentors, like Maxwell and Cody Hoffine, and I probably forget some folks, but
Cody Hoffine,
Max Fish, all the folks, man, out there. It's a beautiful community. It really is, man. It really is. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Dope. All right, guys, we are off of here. That concludes. I'm about to say excludes. That concludes this episode. This is Mr. Courtney Rollins. Do you have an AKA yet?
Oh shoot, man! AKA Wild Style, AKA
Wild Style.
Yeah.
Hey,
man, not shit, man. Nah, we just doing.
We're offering this live. I appreciate you guys for coming out. We will be back this week. We may bring back somebody on Thursday. They're gonna interview. If not, we will be back next Tuesday. Hopefully, you guys got some value. If you did, share this thing. Add Courtney as a friend. Connect with this guy. This guy is literally the future, and he's the beast, man. We out of here. Peace. Let go. Come on.